beautiful people, welcome back to Wellington Witch. My name is Lorien and I am the Wellington Witch. Thank you so much for being here today. This will cover the next 2 weeks, or the final 2 weeks of August 17th to the 31st. As always, I want to change it up a little bit. So we've got the Psychic Tarot, we have romance cards for the love, and a little message from your angel guides, or just anybody who wants to talk through the cards, just to give you some insight into what may be coming through for the next 2 weeks and any advice they want to give you. I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, whether you're new here, whether you're a very loyal returning subscriber, thank you so much, first of all, and thank you so much for also trusting me with your stories and, you know, sharing things, supporting others. I do see you, I appreciate every single one of you, and thank you so much for making the channel what it is today. Thank you. So without further ado, we are going to go into the sun, moon and rising. Please do watch any one that you feel you are drawn to, whether it be your sun, moon, rising. The new moon is going to be on the 19th in Leo, and I will be focusing on the astrology for that with your rising sign. So if you want to figure out how it's going to affect you, look at your rising sign. If you don't know what your rising or your chart is, I recommend going to astro.com just to fill out your details, and they should be able to fill in everything else for you. So let's get on to the readings. Thank you very much. If you'd like to get in touch with me, all the information is in the description box, but let's see what's happening in the next 2 weeks. Hello, beautiful, beautiful Taurus. So this will be for your sun, moon, rising sign. Let's start with the Psychic Tarot. Let's see. It's been a warm one this week. Let's see what's going on with Taurus. Taurus, okay. I feel this is you. Now you already seem much more grounded than Aries, and I think this is probably going to be a theme. Okay. I think I've just got them the wrong way around because I don't do reversals on this deck. Let's see. Yes, okay. Sorry, I do reversals, but this deck has not been shuffled in a weird order, so I just know I'm holding it the wrong way around. I don't want to give an inaccurate reading for you. Oh, maybe you are upside down. Okay, well, we'll see. You want another one? Hope. Okay. You've had one extra for some reason, because they said 5 was your number. 5 there. Let's see. So you have, again, you're very different than Aries. It just seems to be calmer. It seems to be grounded and like, okay, let's go. So very practical. You have 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 2 of Air, I believe. Then another one, 8 of Cups, and then you have 2 major arcana. You have the World, and you also have the Star. And this camera angle is very strange, I apologise, but it's what I can do in this moment in time. Right, so just getting a feel of them. Something isn't sitting right with you. Something it just feels like you want it to be resolved. You want it to be cut, dry, done. Tell me what it is, or else I'm going to go insane. It's that feeling of a bit of frustration, inner frustration. There's a lot of hands that I'm seeing here as well, so maybe you're wanting to do something tangible. You just want something tangible, a direction. Pentacles are very much about having that tangible movement, and you are an earth sign connected to that, so it's like, I just want something to be real, to be solid. And that may be why you're having a little bit of a tough time right now, because nothing seems to be cut and dry. I know what I'm doing, I have a plan, let's go. For some of you, it seems frustration. If I can speak. Frustration. It seems to be very much about trying to generate something, trying to generate either interest or inspiration. Maybe the two. I also feel like within these cards, okay, this seems what's happening on the ground, like in the zone, ground zero, Taurus world. That's this. This is what the universe is trying to tell you. Have hope. Lordy, Lordy, have hope. Now the world, I'm just going to go based on this because these are speaking really loud to me. 21 is the world. This is integration, accomplishment, your fulfillment of everything that you've come to. The Fool's journey is complete through the major arcana. You've learned your lessons. But it doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean, oh, okay, that's it, that's life over. It just means that lesson is done. That cycle is done. And you are now at a place where you know everything you need to know in order to progress to the next stage. And this is a constant cycle. Life is just a constant cycle of checking in, going through it, having a wonderful awakening, going through things. Okay, and again, I mean, Scorpios get this most of all. I mean, I'm a Scorpio, but it's kind of like Phoenix from the ashes. We know what happens. We know about regeneration, rebirth, coming new. You know, if we get beaten down, we spring up, we shed our snake skin, we go. Taurus, you are the sister sign of Scorpio. This is time for you to shed your snake skin. This is time for you to go, okay, level up. You've beaten the boss already. It just feels like you are now needing to take a step up and take a step forwards. So this hope card is very much about the star. And the star is kind of saying, look, there's generosity here, there's hope. There's a reason to carry on. There's a reason to continue. We wish you had more. That's something that's coming up. I don't know, we wish you had more hope. We wish you allowed yourself to dream a little more. We wish you had room to make your dreams a little bit bigger, darling. You know, to quote that movie. But it's fine. Dream a little bigger. You don't have to be rigid in circumstance, rigid in, you know, what you know to be true, because what you know to be true, there's a wall there, and then everything else that you haven't explored yet, you could find more truth outside those walls. That's what I'm getting at the moment. So in the next 2 weeks, it feels as though you are learning how to have a little bit more hope. I don't know where my voice went then. Having a bit more hope. Maybe that's the trouble with you at the moment. Your voice seems to be disappearing. Your voice needs to be shrinking because hope is shrinking inwards here, or something is shrinking inwards. Emotional withdrawal. There we go. So instead of going within and going, I'm healing, I'm restoring, I'm thinking about my decisions, I'm taking the time to just replenish my cup, it seems like you're actively just switched off. That may be because of disappointment and you want to move on and you want to just go, look, I put a lot of emotional effort into this. I put my heart and soul into it. Didn't work out. I'll move on. This is just switching off. And it is practical. It is very Taurus. It is very Taurus. But I'm just wondering whether there's something else that you need to do in order to get the flow going again. You know, there's pressure that may be put on you. You may be sick of waiting on something here. Like circling back around. Just come on, do something. I know that Tauruses can be patient, but patience always has a limit in my experience. And I know that as much as people love hearing the universe has a plan, the universe, you know, doesn't work on our timelines, yada yada, we still as humans want something to prove that it's on its way. We want something to show that we are going forwards, that we are actually going in the right direction, that we are doing stuff. We're very, very bad at just sitting down and waiting for things to happen. We want to actively, or we should want to actively do things to progress. Some of us in life are very happy just to sit down and do nothing and just have what we want, have what we need, and then that's us for the next 30, 50 years. That's fine. But for those of you watching this video, I would imagine that you're mostly wanting to progress. You're mostly wanting to continue. You're mostly wanting to go forwards and find something that is more to do with your happiness. And I don't know why I'm reading reverse here. That's an interesting thing as well. It made me just go back a few places. You know, see what put you on this path, and then see if you're happy on this path. If you're not, you can change. Or you can alter it slightly. I always like to call it course correcting. So you don't just go completely off the path, you just go boop, boop. It just has to be slight. Maybe it's the perspective as how you look at something. Maybe you need to have more hope. Maybe you need to, you know, ask yourself more questions about what you want. Give yourself more invitations to take risks, you know. But the waiting game is kind of like, look, it's concocting, it's still brewing. But we kind of need you to be the final ingredient. We kind of need you to be that seasoning, that flavor in this recipe of hope of what you want to be, what you want to become, or what you want to do over the next few weeks. We need you to be that final thing, and then it'll bloom. So you just, I don't know where that analogy was going, to be honest, because they just seemed to put it in my head. There was a cauldron, there was you, they had the fire, it was bubbling away, it just wasn't quite ready, it was waiting for you. As I'm looking at the cards, actually, yeah, course correction, yeah, okay. Sorry, they make weird connections with my head. Course correction may be this. Choose wisely, choose which direction you're going to. These birds, they can course correct, you know, they go here, there, will go in the flow of the wind, or move this current to one side, you know, oh, better avoid that. It's just a case of, it could be as simple as this. You know, which way am I going to go? What do I want to do next? Which path do I want to focus on? Somebody just in my head said, which person do you want to please more? So maybe others or yourself. Make sure there's a balance there, because if you're constantly trying to please others, you will be constantly tripping over your feet. That is not the direction to choose. So maybe that's why they're saying choose wisely here. If you think you know the answers, if you think you already know which direction you're going to go, make sure that it feels good in your gut and your head and your heart. Make sure they're all in alignment. Make sure that, yeah, that's good. That's good. If it excites you, and it kind of scary, but it excites you and it feels right, you kind of know that that's the direction. Other times, especially when it comes here, you may be a little bit, how to put it, you may be just a little bit too down on it. I don't see that being the wisest choice. If you have to choose the lesser of two evils, yeah, that could be a wise choice, but it needs to be what feels better. If neither of the choices or any of the choices feel good, not deciding is still a choice. You could choose not to decide and just wait until things reveal themselves a little bit more to you. Or you could actually have a goal in mind when it comes to financial and material changes. You may want to do something that gives you financial and material changes. You may want to base your decision on this, because you're a very, strong, grounded sign in whichever moon, rising, sun, doesn't matter. There's something that just feels like you are wanting to change something. And it will change here as well. It will alter the path in which you take. There's so many pathways here that, like, even the circling around the time, and you may feel like you're wasting time, or time didn't go as you expected it to. I just think that there's a little bit of course correction needed, and choosing wisely may just be the degree as to how far or how vast the change is. I think that a lot of this is to do with listening to your inner self, listening to your higher self, not really being too decided on a direction. Sometimes a direction just simply will not present itself to you, strongly or otherwise. And you may feel like, well, that's good information, thank you. Like, should I go with this person? Should I go with this opportunity? Should I get that car? And you'll be like, okay, universe, tell me, give me a sign. Which one should I go for? and there really isn't a sign. There really isn't a strong pull towards anything. And you're like, oh, well, now I'm still in the same place. I'm still waiting for a sign. Sometimes that can be because nothing is ready yet. Have hope, the time is coming. Other times it's that you're actually choosing the wrong thing to focus on, the wrong car. It could be, the wrong person, the wrong path. Other times it can be because you have switched yourself off. And you need to know the difference. You need to start feeling the difference over these next 2 weeks, because we're going from Leo into Virgo. So with Taurus, if you're Taurus rising, because I do traditional astrology, so typically your rising is your first house. Taurus, if you're Taurus rising, the new moon on the 19th in Leo is actually in your 4th house of home. So you may be looking at things to do with your home. Are you happy there? Are your foundations the way you want it to be? What's your relationship like with the women in your life? Are you looking at your emotional foundations very quickly? Is there something that you're not happy with? Is self-care, limited at any point? You need to be able to look at that and see if there's something that you are kind of maybe wanting to make a promise to yourself about, like improving something. Because Leo in that particular house is very much provider. It is hunter-gatherer. It's wanting to be provider, or just be very safe and secure, and almost like the pride type thing. But as we go into Virgo season, which actually will reflect, I believe, on your 5th house, which is romance, love affairs, creativity, childlike spirit, I think it would be wise for you to move into that mindset. Virgo can be very rigid in its structure as well, servicing other people, focusing on health, the sense of usefulness, work habits, very good ethics. But that's when it comes to creativity. So Virgo kind of season, maybe I know it's getting a little bit complicated, but Virgo sensibilities within the season of, Virgo being very strong and very positive, you could be looking at how you ethically play, how you ethically create, how you self-express things very nobly or in service to others. So it's almost like you are constantly looking outside of yourself somehow for a sense of what you must do. But I do feel there's an opportunity coming through for you, Taurus, regardless of whether your rising is Taurus, to play, to have something, to reignite this. If you have got something, I think this is reluctance to let something go as well. This is reluctance to let something go. If you have put everything in it and you still can't walk away from it, even though it's disappointed you and it hasn't worked out the way you wanted to, there's something you're really not wanting to let go of yet. There's something you're like, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. And that may be actually switching yourself off to other opportunities. So I think something you just have to go, okay, I release you. Thank you very much for doing whatever it needed to do, whether it be a person, project, or otherwise. And I'm going to walk away now. And then you might actually see that these come through much, much quicker. That was a long way to go around. Okay, so let's see what else is coming up for you, my dear Taurus. Let's see what the relationship side of things are. This is love and relationships with others in general. Taurus, please. Taurus, please. This one to go out for Taurus. And, okay, you too. So, first things first. Oh, I always get them upside down. Pay attention to the red flags. I think Aries had red flags as well. Not this card, but they did have it mentioned to me. The signs are cautioning you. Again, hands here. It's kind of like you may be being, or may have been presented with something amazing. Something that's like, yes, this is something that's wonderful. You must go forwards with this. And you're like, hang on a second. Choose wisely. If there's something that you're kind of not sure about, and again, ask the universe. If you don't get a response, maybe it's not a strong result. you know. So maybe if you're asking about this person, should I follow my heart and go with him, or something equally as non-Taurus, there could be something that is kind of a red flag here that you just need to focus on a little bit more. Although you are ruled by Venus, so you could get a little bit romantic now and again. It's just that you need to pay attention to something that, you know, others may miss, but you should see. Pay attention to them. Don't just turn a blind eye to them, because maybe you're reluctant to let this person go. Maybe you're reluctant to say, you know what, I want this person, so I'm going to ignore the need to walk away even though I'm disappointed. The red flags are there in that scenario. And the next one is let go of control issues. Oh my gosh, okay. Now, I'm not going to feed into the stereotype that Taurus are controlling. I'm not going to do that. But I know an earth sign, well, I know many earth signs. Two of my dearest friends are earth signs. Blimey. Mind you, Scorpio also has this, so I shouldn't be, you know, I'm no judgment here. You know what? It does need to unfold naturally. If you just let it go as the process allows, as the process wants, if you just want to just kind of go, okay, and release control to the universe, have hope. You need to release control of the situation. Let the universe guide you through this, whatever this is. Please do. Because, again, I'm not saying that Tauruses are controlling. You just have a particular way of doing things. You have a particular way of viewing things. And you don't tend to step outside that thing. You're a fixed sign. But you need to let go of control here. You need to let go of the situation. You need to unswitch off and just go, okay, release. And the last card for this one is wedding. Ooh. The situation involves marriage. There could be an arrangement coming in. It could be something that you are... Yeah, some people may be accusing you, if you are getting married, of being a little bit bridezilla or groomzilla or whatever. It just feels a little bit like, is this a good idea? This is basically think before you commit. All of this, I mean, whether you're getting married, whether not, think before you commit. If you're already committed to something, whether it be personal, you know, project or whatever, think about it. You might need to let something go before things actually start picking up the pace again. You may actually have to close the door on something properly before things can move again. Think about it before you commit to a road. Think about it before you go through with a dotted line and, you know, do all of that stuff. Just think about it. That's the one advice that seems to be coming through here. Okay. Let's see what's going on for Taurus. If you can hear a screaming child in the background, I do apologise. The sound carries here very, very widely. That's all my neighbours in the gardens because it's a nice day. I just asked any advice for Taurus, and the one thing that I heard was you're doing fine. You're doing fine. So I do feel that, you know, despite all the things you may feel struggling with, you're doing fine. Chakra clearing. Call upon me to clear your chakras, using sacred geometric shapes. You could just need to detox kind of thing. Well, not literally a detox. I don't recommend that. But something that's just kind of like cleansing yourself. Get some selenite and just kind of rub it like over your body, kind of cleansing your aura. Not rub it over your body, but just kind of like this and go underneath where your aura is. Could be something that you could do that really cleanses you. Spiritual understanding. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truth. I can't speak today, I'm very dry. Spiritual truths. Signs, symbols, numbers, repetitions, the same song playing over and over again, the same lyrics playing in your head, something being like a big boom to show that there's something there. And you have a lot of purple, not just counting these, but you have a lot of purple in these cards. So again, third eye could be the key to understanding the situation. And you have prosperity, which is your material needs are provided as you follow your intuition and manifest your dreams into reality. If you are concerned about or I need money to live, and if I do this, if I leave this job, if I, end this, I might not have enough money to sustain me while I do such and such. Focus on what it is you want to manifest, and everything else should actually arrange itself so you don't have to worry about it. So it's a weird thing. Like, if you want the car, if you want the thing, sometimes it's better to manifest the money coming in. Sometimes it's just better to say, look, I really would love a wonderful car that helps me get from A to B, reliable. And the universe will find a way to work that into your life so you can actually sustain it properly. But it just feels like you have more prosperity coming than you may realise. Oh my, Taurus. That was a big reading, and I can't see the time on my recorder here, so the last one was 20 minutes, so I don't know how I've got longer than this, but let me know in the comments below if this resonated with you. Thank you so much for sharing your stories so far. Thank you very much also for liking, sharing and subscribing so that others like you can find these messages as well. In the meantime though, if you'd like to get in contact with me with a question about this reading or to get another one yourself, do check the comment box, the description box below, with all links as to how to get a reading from me. But in the meantime, Taurus, take care of yourselves. I'm sending you so much love. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'll speak to you very, very soon.